Good morning. Let's talk about the weather. Well, it's going to be a beautiful sunny day today, and we can expect much more of the same over the next couple of days. You might want to do some of those outdoor activities that you've been saving up for. Las Vegas, 68. Los Angeles, 72 degrees with a high of 82. Georgia, 56 degrees with a high of 71. Surf's up, 3 to 6 foot, southwest swell. The weather situation is much worse across the country. 38 deaths are being blamed on this record heat wave, and it's expected to continue for at least another 3 days. Stay cool however you can and make sure that you're drinking lots of water. Hospitals are already reporting record numbers of respiratory emergencies due to this heat wave. Good morning. Let's talk about the weather. It's freezing out there, folks. Snow, snow, and more snow. Get out the snowshoes and the shovels. It's beautiful to look at if you are inside and don't have to go anywhere. And you might not want to go anywhere if you don't have to. This is the kind of weather that makes you want to stay home. In fact, this is the kind of weather that makes you want to move somewhere else. The weather situation is much worse across the country. 26 deaths are being blamed on this cold snap, and it's expected to continue for at least another 3 days. Stay warm if you can, and if you have to go out, make sure that you're bundled up. It only takes 5 minutes outside for exposed skin to suffer frostbite, so be careful.
China said Wednesday it would free the crew of a U.S. spy plane after receiving a letter saying the U.S. was very sorry for the plane's unauthorized landing and the death of the Chinese pilot. A plane left Guam to retrieve the U.S. crew as Chinese officials negotiated the final details of the release. U.S. authorities now know a lot more about the Chinese fighter pilot whose jet collided with the slower-moving U.S. spy plane. They say he came very close to the other U.S. surveillance aircraft in the past. Israeli tanks and bulldozers rumbled into this refugee camp earlier Wednesday, razing or heavily damaging 30 homes and triggering an exchange of fire that killed 2 Palestinians and wounded more than a dozen. About a dozen downtown businesses were boarded up Wednesday, and glass littered the sidewalks following 2 nights of protests over the police shooting of an unarmed black man. There were few people on the streets as the Cincinnati Archdiocese canceled classes at 2 inner-city Roman Catholic schools, and police urged curiosity seekers to stay out of the over-the-Rhine neighborhood. Technology stocks extended their gains amid positive views on the sector from Wall Street, but blue chips fell victim to a sell-off after a 2-session rally that propelled the Dow Industrial through the 10,000 level. U.S. import prices took their sharpest plunge in over 8 years in March. As costs for both imported petroleum and non-petroleum products fell, the government said Wednesday, showing the United States had little reason to fear importing inflation from overseas. The European Central Bank on Wednesday kept interest.
With the Washington Monument in the background, the president has just arrived off his helicopter. He's coming from Camp David to spend his time with a gathering on the White House lawn. This is a regular affair for the president, who has spent many hours, many days entertaining politicians and those who have been generous with his party. They're here to spend a few hours in the sun near the Rose Garden. With the Washington Monument in the background, the president has just arrived off his helicopter. He's coming from Camp David to spend his time with a gathering on the White House lawn. This is